How many of you have ever heard or told a joke about the really sugary food giving you diabetes? I know in my lifetime I've heard a lot of these jokes from some of my close friends and family members, and what many people don't realize when they make these jokes is that they can be offensive and can confirm false stereotypes about a disease that a lot of people don't know very much about. My name is Emma Hill. I have been a type 1 diabetic for 15 years, and today I will be explaining the difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes, why you should differentiate between the two, and why they shouldn't be the base of your jokes in the first place. According to a scientific article by Mark A. Atkinson, PhD, George S. Eisenbarth, MD, and Aaron W. Michaels, MD, type 1 diabetes is an immune disorder caused by the destruction of insulin-producing cells in the pancreas. Insulin is a hormone produced in the pancreas that processes glucose. Type 1 diabetes is typically diagnosed in children and young adults, and the pancreas stops working entirely, meaning the pancreas can no longer produce insulin at all. Type 2 diabetes is more commonly diagnosed in adults and is caused by the pancreas's inability to process glucose. The body resists or doesn't produce enough insulin to process the glucose effectively. Not differentiating between these two reaffirms stereotypes that are not always true of both or either sometimes. Contrary to popular belief, type 2 diabetes is sometimes not caused by personal choice and is instead a genetic disorder. Another reason why you should differentiate between the two is because many type 2 diabetic medications wouldn't work for me, a type 1 diabetic. I can't tell you how many ads I see for medications on TV that are just advertised as for diabetics, and that actually doesn't work that way. Those medications are typically used to jumpstart the pancreas again and making insulin, where mine will not make insulin no matter how many medications you give it. So now I'm going to go over why these jokes and why diabetes shouldn't be the base of your jokes in the first place. It can be seen as offensive. An article by Anna Lee Beyer explains how diabetes is not a punishment for bad choices and is actually malfunctioning biology. It's just a genetic disorder where the pancreas doesn't do what it's supposed to. Now, some people might do this, but typically you would not encourage someone to make jokes about cancer or other diseases. I can't tell you how many videos I've seen on moms and kids explaining their disappointment in a movie, Hotel Transylvania, where they show a Sesame Street style clip where one of the monsters says that diabetes is the real monster when they're referring to chocolate cake, which is really unfortunate for kids who don't understand the disease that they have. Both type 1 and type 2 diabetes are very serious diseases. According to a study done with the Royal Prince Alfred Hospital, type 2 diabetes can have greater mortality and cardiovascular disease than type 1. I know that when I go into the doctor for my 3-month checkups with diabetes, I'm often told about some of the consequences that can result in me ineffectively treating my diabetes, such as blindness and limb amputation. And this disease is incurable, so these are risks that I have to live with for a really long time of, if I don't manage things correctly, a lot of bad things can happen. So today I went over why you should differentiate between type 1 and type 2 diabetes and why you shouldn't joke about it. A lot of these jokes can be seen as really offensive, and a lot of people don't know about the disease. So maybe next time you go to make that Instagram post or joke about your milkshake giving you diabetes, you'll think about this presentation and me and some of the consequences that I may have to deal with because you're making jokes about something that I have to live with on a day-to-day basis. Thank you.